Time to go for a wintry exploration.
Hello, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Pat.
This is Ecology Matters.
Time to have a look for some signs in the snow and talk about maybe the difference between doing the survey now and doing it under more normal conditions where our fingers and toes are actually functional. We've got an easterly wind, the snow on the ground. It's about -3 at the moment, but with the wind chill it's a lot colder. So very quickly, what I've stopped to look at here are some tracks in the snow. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages when it snows to doing sort of ecology surveys. One of the advantages is that some tracks become more easy to see, more straightforward to follow in the snow. You can see some examples here. Just stop to look at these before we show you the badger tracks. So we've got some human footprints here. We've got some brown hair tracks, just to illustrate the fact that if we came on a normal day when there was no snow, you actually probably wouldn't be able to tell that humans or common hare had gone along here. But actually, because we've got this information, it confirms for us something that's happened. It gives us a bit more confidence when we're doing surveys just like this. But let's go and have a look for some badgers and see what kind of signs we can find of them under these snowy conditions. Now, some things like the badger's scrapings and diggings, places where we might find signs of badgers at any time of year, are a little bit easier to see in the snow. You can see here what they've done, just like some deer that we looked at earlier on this morning when we were doing a survey. They've actually scraped off that top surface to get to something underneath, and because it's snowy, because it's been snowy, it's a little bit easier to see where they've been. Let's go and check out on one of the sets and see what that looks like under these conditions. So we've just stopped to check on 2 sets that we know are active throughout most of the year in most years. There's one just down here, one entrance, and that's actually got rabbit tracks going into it at the moment, but no signs of badgers. And then there's another one just over here, and that's a much bigger, much more obvious entrance. I don't know if you can see that clearly on the film. Now, we know, because we've kept check on these over the last few years, that they are active most of the time in most years. It's interesting at the moment that there's no signs of badger activity, and there haven't been for the last couple of days. That could just be because the badgers have decided to sit tight for a day or two, curl up and conserve as much energy as possible. Well, this is quite interesting. Unlike the grassland that we were looking at before, which is quite short, this is really quite tall and tussocky. You can see the tussock sticking up out of the snow, and what is interesting is it's far less obvious where the badgers are in this area. We know they're active here. We're walking towards one of the sets at the moment, but very little sign of the badgers, whereas normally we'd see all sorts of activity over here, all sorts of scraping and digging, perhaps latrines. There's another couple of sets that we've been keeping an eye on as well. Let me show you some photographs of those, and you'll see from those pictures just how much activity there is and how obvious the signs are of badgers. There are footprints, and there are areas where the badgers look like they've been walking in and out, or perhaps sliding up and down like we've been doing today in the snow. And other examples of tracks as well. Look at these here, where they're on a path with hard packed snow, and you can see the badger's claws as they've dug in to get some purchase as they're walking along. So some things are quite clear and easy to see, and you see different things in the snow than you would do under other conditions. Right then, one last clip, one last ditch attempt to wring something out of this day. It's so cold, we're going to have to give up the ghost very soon. So, very quickly, what you're looking at behind me here is a big open grassland area. We know the badgers use it. We've been monitoring them and surveilling them here for a few years now. If you look just behind me to where you can see that line of hedgerow, you can see that there's a large series of badger set entrances in there, very active. They seem to be active all the way throughout the year, every single time that we come and check them. The field here is very important for badgers as well. You can see that from the tracks. Just have a look at these photographs to compare tracks during the non-snowy months, let's put it that way, when you can see the grassland clearly, you can see the badger tracks, and some pictures that we took from the drone just yesterday after the snow had fallen to see if you can spot where the badger tracks are. Time to sign off. I'm Pat, Jeanette's behind the camera. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.